If you've been selected to ride the Tour de France, you might want to ask the team for a professional bike fit before you get into the wind tunnel. To make any bike comfortable and get the best performance, the individual rider has to be successfully set up on the bike to suit their body. In my 40 years of being a professional bike mechanic and frame builder, the most common mistake I see cyclists doing is changing components and rider position based on the latest trend professional road racers are doing. This can be both dangerous and detrimental to your body. This is not a full bike fit, but is the fundamental biomechanical way every bike should be set up. You've just got to become the bike. Welcome to Stage 20 of Tour de Bike 2024, where I'm going to show you some basic tips about the bike setup so that you can be more comfortable on your bike. You'll get more performance out of it, allowing you to ride longer, faster, and your body won't suffer unnecessarily. All you're going to need is your bike, yourself, a few tools, including a plumb line. You can easily make a plumb line at home. You'll also need a trainer to put your bike on or a helper to make things easier. Stick around to the end when I'll explain why having your seat lower and further back than your correct fitting height can be advantageous. This is something pro climbers do, and maybe you should too. The first thing to do is get your saddle flat from the tail to the nose without changing the fore and aft position on the rails. Get on your bike and put your foot on the pedal with the ball of the foot over the axle. Rotate the crank so it is in line with the seat tube at the bottom. This is the longest point for your leg extension. With your heel dropped so your foot is parallel to the ground, there should be a slight bend in your leg. I'm starting with road shoes on to show you the correlation with normal shoes. You can get the same result in flat shoes by putting your heel on the pedal axle in the same way so the crank arm is at the low point in line with the seat tube. Flatten the foot so it is parallel to the ground. Your leg should be dead straight and locked out at the knee. Don't do this with modern cycling shoes, whether they be a road or mountain bike type. Adjust as necessary until one of these methods gives you the required result. If you get your position too high, your pelvis will rotate at the bottom of the pedal stroke. A position which is too low will cause pain in the quadriceps just above the knee. But more importantly than your health, in the first instance, the power has run out, and the second, not all the potential power is going in. Now we will work out the correct fore and aft position for the saddle on the rails. Getting this wrong in one direction could cause serious knee injury. However, if you go the other way, you should be able to climb hills much better in the saddle. Sit on the saddle in the position you would normally feel comfortable with your feet on the pedals. It is best not to hold the handlebars here, as this may cause you to pull yourself forward or push yourself backward on the saddle. If you don't have your bike on a trainer, you may need someone else to assist with this part. Turn the crank so it's pointing forward parallel to the ground at 3 o'clock. Get your plumb line. This one is made from a butcher's string long enough to reach from my knee to below the pedal with an A head spacer tied to it. Find the little divot on the front outside of your leg below the kneecap at the top of the shin bone. Let the line hang freely so your shoe isn't interfering with it. The plumb line needs to fall in line with the middle of the pedal axle or behind it. Further forward than the pedal axle means the saddle needs to go back on the rails until this parameter is satisfied. This has nothing to do with the handlebars and is only about your pedal stroke. Having the plumb line forward of the pedal axle could end up giving you knee problems, as the femur and tibia bones are basically trying to jackknife your kneecap. If you decide to move your seat forward or backward to get your knee over the axle, it will change the saddle height length because of the seat tube angle. Going forward will make the pedal stroke shorter, and going backward will make it longer. Go back to the first step and check your leg still has a little bend with the ball of the foot over the pedal axle, or is straight without overextension with your heel on the pedal axle. If in doubt, work with the rule, 1 centimeter too low is better for you than 1 millimeter too high. Climbers often lower their saddle a little to get further behind the pedal stroke. Now the saddle position is correct, we can move on to working out the handlebar reach. It's a common misconception. One can adjust the reach to your handlebars by adjusting your saddle position forwards and backwards. We have just set the saddle for optimum pedaling efficiency and to avoid injury, so don't change it. Start by getting the rotation of the handlebars correct, remembering there isn't an exact angle correct for every person, so you may want to try a few different angles and adjust this after a bit of riding. All too often, I see handlebars with the flat bottom area being parallel to the ground. This is not very good for your wrists, as they aren't in line with your forearms, while also affecting your control of the bike, both in and out of the seat. You may be thinking, I don't ever ride on the drops. Firstly, you should ride on the drops, especially when descending or in as tricky situations. This is where you have the most control over your bike because your center of gravity is much lower. There's a lot more leverage to put into the brake levers, along with increased sensitivity over the brake modulation. The second reason is because handlebars are very similar in the overall shape to be anatomical. The area where your levers end up positioned is directly related to the handlebar curves. The bottom part of the bar is your datum point. The correct rotation angle for road bike handlebars aims for a neutral wrist position when holding onto the hoods. Turn the bars so the flat part of the bar is pointing up towards the front of the bike. Start with 5 or 6 degrees as a minimum. Mine are closer to 9 or 10 degrees because I like to get right into the curve of the bar when using the drops. I do this by feel on each of my bikes rather than using an angle measuring device. Once we've got that right, we can work out how far away our handlebars need to be based on the stem length. The manufacturers will only use 2 or 3 different stem sizes for 6 different size bikes, keeping their costs down with economy of scale purchasing. They can't all be right for every person's individual anatomy. In fact, it is highly likely your new bike has the wrong stem length for your body shape and size. If you are relying on the shop where your bike was built, the sales staff often use the stand beside the bike to see if the saddle is at the same height as your hips to find the correct size for you. Get back on the bike with your feet on the pedals, making sure the balls of your feet are over the axles. Rotate the crank to the same position as we did to check the saddle fore and aft position, pointing forward parallel to the ground. Position yourself on the saddle where it feels comfortable. Get down in the drops, whether you use the drops or not, and bend your arms. Your elbows should be just touching your knee or a little bit forward. If your elbows are any further back, you need a longer stem. If the gap is too big, say 4 or more centimeters, and you're feeling stretched out, you need a shorter stem. You're overstretched if you need to move forward on the saddle from the position set at the start to feel comfortable. The correct rotation angle for road bike handlebars combined with the right reach should give you the neutral wrist position we're aiming for when holding the hoods. Your hands should be in a straight line with your forearms without any angling of the wrists. You may need to play around a little bit with the reach and the angle of the bars to get completely comfortable based on the type of riding, your anatomy, and preferred riding style. As I said in the beginning, this is a basic setup guide for you and your bikes. If you'd like to see a more detailed bike fitting video to get more in tune with the bike, including bar widths, crank lengths, arm, back and leg angle, correlation and more, along with the pitfalls of following the pack, let me know in the comments. Have a straight bar? The saddle position is still set up the same. However, the bar height and reach is going to be different for each type of bike and riding style. After accounting for the difference in stance height of 6 centimeters from the floor on these 2 bikes of mine, the mountain bike bars are 3 centimeters closer to the saddle nose and pretty much bang on where I ride on the drops. Let's have a look at why having your seat lower and further back than your correct position can be advantageous. This is something pro climbers do, and maybe you should too. Before I do, a quick reminder, this is stage 20 of 21 stage tour around any new bike, showing all the shortcuts taken at production and final assembly to cut costs. If you haven't already checked the previous stages out, take a look to see what else needs doing on your bike before it's too late. In stage 21 of Tour de Bike 2024, I'm going to show you the most important tool in my workshop and explain why it should be in yours too. We'll also be wrapping up the previous stages, looking at the amount of money a bike shop would have charged to do all of the jobs we've tackled in this series, even though most people would expect them to be done in the manufacturing and building process. Finally, there will be a preview of what is coming in Tour de Bike 2025. I have a special treat with a one-off Tour de France themed bike. I'm super excited to see what you think. The 2 main reasons professional cyclists may lower their saddle height when climbing is comfort and power transfer. When climbing, the saddle naturally tilts upwards with the incline, Lowering the saddle helps to counteract this and maintain a more comfortable and neutral position. This reduces the strain on the lower back and prevents excessive reach while making the transition from being seated to standing on the pedals much easier. A lower saddle set further back can improve power transfer by allowing for a more natural and efficient pedaling stroke. Being comfortable on your new bike is very important, but if it isn't running properly or keeps letting you down because the manufacturers and the shop mechanic didn't build it correctly, you need to check out all the previous stages of Tour de Bike 2024. Click the playlist at the end to get your bike in tip-top order and spend more time riding instead of fixing it in the future. My name is Ashley Malcolm, and I can't wait to see you in the final stage of Tour de Bike 2024. Until then, thanks and take care.